bolts or some cultivator teeth, and if he did, well, he'd stop and gab with my dad or even me a little bit and other people that come in there.
How old were you then?
Huh?
How old were you back then at the dealership?
How old?
Yeah, probably 10?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember back when my dad got that first little tractor. I was probably about 7, 8 years old probably.
Really?
And I remember him going to D4 and going in there. I'd like to go in there because I could see the tractors out back. I'd go around back where the tractors was, or along that east side of the building. They had a couple of tractors there and a manure spreader. Manure spreader, and they sold New Idea machinery there too. So I'd always like to look at the machinery. My dad, he'd go in the store and I'd get stuff looked at around there, and then I'd go in the store. And sometimes I'd go into one of the big sliding doors in the back part of the IFMA business, and I'd find Frank working on something in there, or another guy. A couple other guys would be setting up machinery and putting it together, and I didn't know them too much, but I'd say hi to him probably, and then I'd find Frank. I knew him, and he's always in the mechanic shop, or tearing down a tractor or putting a tractor together. He's always all greasy and oily. Wasn't nothing fancy. He had big old, I don't know, it was big, but it was a potbelly furnace stove in the corner in that workshop, and he was always nice and warm right there in the wintertime.
I bet.
He was always working in there, and he had doors there where they could shut them and just seal that off like my little shop, only a lot bigger than that. And he'd be in there working away. I don't know if there's any pictures floating around D4 there of the Plot Eyes or somebody of the store, or not for sure. The storefront, you know, it faced the highway. There's down the highway went by there.
Right, yep.
I can picture it in my mind somewhat, but...
and the inside had all wood floors?
Huh?
And the inside of the building had all wood floors in the front part?
Well, in the store part,
right,
know, out in the back where they'd done the mechanic work and machinery set up, that was all concrete.
Yep.
A lot of times out where they're setting up machinery in that part of the building, that wasn't heated. They didn't have salamanders and stuff like that there, and that would always be kind of damp, wet, cold. Maybe in the wintertime it was cold out there, and in the late fall and early spring it'd always be kind of wet in there. But where Frank worked on tractor, that was always kept warm and dry in there.
Yep. What else do you remember about the store part?
Well, the store part just had a front on there, something like a county garage. No, it ain't like the county garage, but it had a raised floor right there, and you'd go up them steps there now, and that was about the same height as the store was. And you'd go in there and then go out in the other part of the building where the mechanic work was done, and machinery set up was down on the ground level floor. From there, and you go down some steps there to go around back there, or else you go outside and go down on the ground and walk around outside.
Mm-hmm.
But the store part, as I understood then, I think when Plot Eye told us that was originally just a hardware store.
Yeah, I think so.
I think that was just hardware, and it's R.E. Johnson got into the L. Chalmers machinery and New Idea equipment business there.
Yep.
And I suppose they built on to that building to make a shop there to work on machinery and tractors and so on and so forth. And then, yeah, Plot Eye told about another little store that's set right to the west of the implement dealer business there. I don't remember that. I remember that other store that stands there. That was Molnar's. Years ago, I remember going in there with my dad, and he'd take eggs in there, or he'd take chickens in there. And that guy, he'd buy eggs and chickens and ducks and all sorts of feather animals, I guess. And then he had an old flat rack truck there, and he'd load a bunch of them crates on there with them chickens and stuff in. And he'd take that stuff to the city, I think, one day a week.
Did the chickens have all their feathers when they got down there?
Oh, I don't know about that. They had feathers when they was there. feathers all over the place in there. And I remember that, and that little driveway right along the east side of that building, back where Ron Kilburn had his grease rack for greasing cars and stuff there. But Mr. Molnar had the door there, and he'd back his truck in there and load all his stuff on that truck. My dad'd go in there with eggs or chickens or something, and I don't know if he sold stuff out of there now. He probably did. I don't recall, but I remember Dad going in there once. I remember seeing chickens and chickens and chickens and feathers and feathers and feathers, and a lot of eggs sitting in crates there, chicken crates and stuff. You getting ready to go to the city the next, probably the next day. So, like according to Ploddeye there, why there was a little store between him and the Al Selmer's dealership there. I don't remember that.